Okay, let's start. नमस्कार. नाकार गोमुत नगर सोन बसनस न लायक रोदमुत लोटस त हलसस वज वट मंजबाग मिस्कीन मोदमुत चलहक त ब यमहन योर कारनाव तारक न अपोर यम मास्टर जिंदकोल साहब सिंध यम लफ्ज हालांकि यम छ तिमो आज 7 वरी ब्रोंठ वनमित मगर यम छ आज तो सुई अहमियत तो सुई मायने थवान. नमस्कार सारनी तो आज के सैनिस सेकंड क्वार्टरली अपडेट मीटिंग मज वेलकम. आज मीटिंग ऐसे दोन सेगमेंटन मज तकसीम करमच. गोनकिस सेगमेंटस मज दिमो ट्रिब्यूट सानन माटेरन युस रिसेंटली पहलगामस मज वुच. हालांकि कह नौकात यह 1999 पे क्रुहन दौर वुचमुत. सो गोनुक सेगमेंट डेडिकेट करान तिमन माटरन नॉट कहली पहलगामिक तम ब्रोंठ तो यम यिंज न्यूज आय ज्यादा तो केवन क्या रोल कोर प्ले तम पत. सो गोनुक सेगमेंट करान डेडिकेट सानन माटरन तिंद ट्रिब्यूटस मज तो स्पेशल गेस्ट यमन सत कथ बात करो. तो दोयम सेगमेंटस मज करो पन क्वार्टरली अपडेट दिमो पन बेसिकली प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट क्या कोर पतिमन 3 रतन क्या क्या की इनिशिएटिव क्या क्या की अपडेट्स क्या क्या करंट वनकस करान तो क्या नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर को प्लान. तो लास्टस Q&A सेशन. सो बहुत सारे रिक्वेस्ट करान प्लीज पन फीडबैक पन क्वेश्चन पन कमेंट तो हेकु टाइप करित तो करो बिफोर वी क्लोज करो तुम सारी एड्रेस. तो लगभग 19 मिनटन रोज आजुक ये मीटिंग. सो अत करो शुरू गोनुक सेगमेंट युस ट्रिब्यूट दिवान पन्न माटरन यम अप्रैल 2 पहलगामस मज युस वुच मैसकर युस बुथकन खतर वैसे नव कत के मगर यह बुथकन आव तो कित पत बहुस शुक्रगुजार KOA लीडरशिप अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ फारजी तो बे सन बोर्ड सपोर्ट तो केवन कूता एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट कोर अत प्रोटेस्ट विजिल युस ऑर्गेनाइज कर एक्चुअली कर हर लोकल लेवल पे जोनल लेवल पे तो नेशनल लेवल पे. तो सानी वेबसाइट पे सोरे पूरा सान IT टीम पूरा टूल किट बनोमुत पूरा स्टेट वाइज कत कोर तो हेकु यथ पे गसित पत ये कत करो IIT अपडेट साथ मज. बट हर स्टेट हर सिटी ये कोऑर्डिनेटेड एफर्ट कोर ये आवाज कर पन तो यह कोर सोरे. तो उफारजी सुन बह चाहान बह कर प्ले कांग्रेशनल ब्रीफिंग मज KOA रिप्रेजेंट कोर सन कम्युनिटी रिप्रेजेंट कोर बह चाहान 5 मिनट करो बोजो तो तम पत करो किक स्टार्ट पन कॉन्वर्सेशन यम आज स्पेशल गेस्ट. सो आई विल जस्ट प्ले दिस वीडियो.
Amiji, audio is not there.
Audio is not coming.
When you share, you have to actually share with audio. So
I don't think we can then do that. Is there a okay, I can maybe chat us must is there a way to
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, put it in the chat. So let's start our Uparji, please go ahead and we can do can introduce Colonel Tikku.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Colonel Tikku needs no introduction. He's a stalwart in our community. Namaskar, Colonel Tikku ji. Can you hear us okay?
Namaskar, namaskar. Yes, I can very well hear you. Thank you.
Maybe we can pause the screen sharing for now, and we
Right.
can the conversational mode. Yes. So we are deeply honored today to have Colonel Tej Tikku, a very veteran of our community. He's served Indian Army. He has been a very respected author. He has authored, numerous publications, especially I think, and we would love to hear that from you about your recent book, Tej. And he's been a very prominent voice within the community and also a strategic thought leader in military and strategic affairs. And he has held various leadership positions for prominent Kashmiri organizations, including AIX, and he has been engaged with various other organizations actively even as we speak. So, with that, let me welcome Shri Tej Tikuji. Thank you so much, and namaskar, Mara.
Thank you, Barji. Namaskar, Mara. Tohite. Namaskar, Pure KOA leadership and all your members for having invited me to be a guest here. I have to, I will start by saying that KOA has always been a very prominent, in fact, it's a premier organization of Kashmiri Pandits, what with the huge diaspora of our community, particularly in America and Americas, I would say, and it's always been great to because you guys have been doing a tremendous amount of work. I myself was associated with it when I was part of the AIKS, not only as its president but also as its vice president, editor-in-chief of NAD, and then its president. So I'm really thankful to you and your team for having invited me to be present at this platform today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Teji. And I know it's late in India, but I really appreciate you accommodating the time zone aspects. So let's kick it off. So I know we have a packed agenda and we want to cover a lot, try to get your perspectives on various aspects. So, but let me start with see, you've dedicated your life to both armed forces for a significant amount of time, and then as a very vocal advocate for Kashmiri Pandit community and causes. So, can you share a little bit background about how you got inspired to join the armed forces, and in general, your experiences while you were serving in the army?
Well, when I was studying in the college, I was a very outdoor man. I spent more time in the sports field than in the classroom. So army was in fact, a natural progression from student days to a profession which I thought was pretty adventurous and also because uniform had a special appeal for me, and that's what attracted me to join the army. And I what really happened was that I, however, never expected to be selected for infantry because I thought I would be okay in maybe a corps of engineers or some other place, maybe artillery. But I was given infantry, and that too one of the most elite regiments of the Indian Army. So in August 1971, I got commissioned, and I was. It's a long story. I was given my regiment was the Naga regiment. It had 50% Nagas, and it had 50% Kumaunis, Gadwalis, and Gurkhas. And for a Kashmiri from northernmost part of the country, from the northwest to the easternmost part of the country, to be now dealing with people about whom I had no idea, was itself a great experience. But that is how life has been. I would say that, just to cut it very short, I served in the army for 35 years. And right from the time I joined the army, in fact, though Indo-Pakistani War of 1971 started on 3rd December, but we fought first action on 12th November 1971, and that was just opposite Nadia sector of West Bengal, and then we were through it almost the entire this thing. We lost almost about 10 of Jawans, but we also accounted for a large number of Pakistani casualties during that war, and ultimately it resulted in creation of Bangladesh. Actually, from 71 till the time I retired, India has had we are always been in hot pursuit. Actually, you had 71, then we had for almost a decade there was very little activity except for Nagaland, Manipur insurgency where I served. Then we had early 80s, we had Siachen, we had then followed by Punjab, and both the places I served, I went to after the while we were doing all this, we had the LTT problem, and I was part of the IPKF. I came back from there, and then we had JNK. So I can tell you one thing that in between, there was a little bit of peace. I found myself in high altitude areas, mostly about 15,000 feet. In fact, not many even in infantry have spent 72 days continuously at 18,500 feet. But it had its own good points also. You picked up a flap of your tent early morning and you saw Kanchenjunga shaking hands with you. And also sometimes when we were in Eastern Ladakh, when you went out of your tent early morning in that freezing cold, you saw Pengong Song Lake, the blue shimmering waters on the Chinese side and then on the Indian side. So life has been like that. It's been all adventure. It's been all a disciplined life. It is you never expected anything in return. And whatever best you could do as part of the Indian Army, one did it. I would only like to add that I was not any special person. This happened with most of the people who got commissioned during that time because Indian Army always found itself fighting wars on the line of control. And I have served 4 tenures on the line of control, Poonch, Rajouri, and Palangwala, Chamjoria, various other places. And I can tell you one thing that it may come as a surprise to most of you that I spent 14 years in field areas and I did not see my children even growing up. So, in fact, when I left them in KG school, I returned, and when I returned on retirement, they left for studying abroad and things like that. I rarely saw them growing up. It was only, and like all military families, it was my wife who took care of the children, staying separately for 14 long years. I would only come on leave. But that's how life has been in the army. And I think I was privileged. I have no regrets. I was privileged to don Indian Army's uniform, and I am justly proud of that. Thank you.
This is amazing, and we can not really imagine the amount of sacrifice not just you, the entire family has to make to protect the nation. So on behalf of the community, on behalf of all Deshwasis, I really, really thank you from the bottom of my heart, Teji, for serving and defending all of us. So
Thank
so pivoting on that, now, it's moment like these when we have a deeper appreciation of what you and the current servicemen have been doing in protecting the country. So Operation Sindoor. Before we talk about that, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the Pahalgam massacre, actually, which shocked the nation, and obviously we're all recovering from what happened there. But as someone who understands both the military strategy as well as the community dynamics, what is your perspective on this tragic incidents? And if you can add some color, what were the underlying circumstances which led to this kind of a situation?
Partly, let me first tell you one very important thing which most of us don't seem to realize. In Kashmir or between India and Pakistan, nothing happens just as coincidence. Every single detail is pre-planned. Every single operation is executed as per a plan, detailed plan, and the timing, the target, the place is all decided beforehand. So when Pahalgam took place, it was not a mere coincidence. It was a well-planned operation. And now, so many days or more than a month after what happened in Pahalgam, the jigsaw puzzle is getting completed, and we know exactly how it happened, who did it, and why it was done. Pahalgam had a Pahalgam, like many other events, many other terrorist jihadi attacks, I call them. I don't call them terrorist attacks. It is the jihadi terrorist attacks. If you see, if you go back to what Asim Munir, the chief of the Pakistani army, said in a lecture, and he was addressing expatriates of Pakistan, and he was dressed in combat uniform, which every army man knows that that's not the right occasion to put combat dress. And there he talked of three things actually. He said that we must teach every child about two-nation theory. Then he said Kashmir is our jugular vein. Musharraf used to call it Shahrag. He translated it to English, and then he said that there is nothing common between Hindus and Muslims. If you see what happened after, obviously, his people were already there in Pahalgam, and as we know that two of them are from special forces, and they were not led. I would say they are part of the whole thing, and exactly they did it. They did it in Kashmir. They singled out Hindus by faith and shot them at point blank range in a most gruesome manner. It is not to say that I have said this before also in many places in India. What happened in Pahalgam happened with Kashmiri Pandits also, but only thing is that nation did not get to know. I have recorded, I have tabulated in my book so many such cases where worse than these things were done. And knowing very well that, they only targeted Hindus, and in initial days they targeted those Muslims who were nationalists, and they want to get them out of the way. And then what they did with Kashmiri Pandits was exactly what they did in Pahalgam. That had happened 35 years back, and that had happened with in Hindus coming from mainland India. That perhaps attracted the attention of the people. And needless to say that Pahalgam it touched new low in Indo-Pakistani relations. It touched new low in the manner in which jihadis have been continuously hitting at India through the policy of, bleeding us to 1,000 cuts. I would, this is a kind of warfare, but Pahalgam has set many things. It's an inflection point, I would like to say. First of all, for 35 years, ever since the Kashmir insurgency started, Pakistan has been hitting us. And some of the attacks they carried out were extremely ruthless, and they shook the foundations of the nation. For example, attack on the parliament. For example, Mumbai, or some of the attacks on military cantonments in Ratnuchak and Kaluchak and Sanjwan in Jammu. Yet Indian government did not take any action. Therefore, what was actually happening? What was the policy at that time? And Pakistan realized it. I mean, the policy was that India's threshold for retaliation is too high, and therefore, below that threshold, whatever we can do, we will achieve the aim of inflicting 1,000 cuts of India without attracting any retaliatory action. That means Pakistan, we were not willing to extract any price from Pakistan for what they did. However, we did send a message after Uri. We carried out a surgical strike. Not very deep, shallow surgical strike on the launch pads. And we did kill a number of jihadis there. Then we had Pulwama. And this time we did not touch POK. We went deep inside Pakistan. We went to Balakot, hit at their Jaish-e-Mohammed camp. And number of about 200, 250, 300 jihadis got killed there. But even this did not deter Pakistan. There is a reason for this. In Pakistan, today, there are roughly about registered madrasas, there are about 45,000 registered madrasas. And till 5 years back, they were producing 1.5 million jihadis were getting trained there. So when a person entered there 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and he left 17, 18 years, and you had Kasabs getting produced. They were convinced that they are going to, their life starts only after death, and they will straightway go to heaven, Jannat mein jayenge. So as far as the Pakistan army was concerned, they had a regular flow of highly motivated jihadis who were prepared to die for a cause, and that cause was service in the name of Allah. But Pakistan never got hit. Pakistan, when I say Pakistan never got hit, I mean those in Pakistan who are running this big show, and that is the Pakistani armed forces. Not Pakistani armed forces, all but Pakistan army. That is why even when we struck at Balakot, it did not deter them from carrying out this Pahalgam terror strike. Why did Pahalgam take place? Firstly, again, because till the time Pahalgam took, till the time we carried out Operation Sindoor, no Pakistani army man ever got killed. Who got killed were the jihadis. And I can tell you from my own experience, having served in line of control for many, many years, I can tell you we never allowed any jihadi to get past our line of control defenses. 2-3 kilometers, they would all get killed. But sometimes what happened on the 774 kilometers line of control, right from Siachen till Chicken Neck and Akhnur, that's the line of control. Beyond that is international border. Some one group will get inside because the terrain is so difficult. But they would all get killed there. And they would get killed there and they would be buried in unmarked graves. And as far as Pakistan is concerned, it didn't hurt them. They said they're not ours. As far as their families are concerned, they are dead as it is. As far as they themselves are concerned, they have gone to Jannat. So it really did not matter to anybody. I would go to the extent of saying that as far as bleeding India is concerned, if Pakistani armed forces do not belong to the personnel who get killed, who get harmed, do not belong to Punjab, it doesn't really make a difference to Pakistan army at all. Now look at Kargil. In Kargil, there was 5, 8, 7, and 6 Northern Light infantry was involved. They are all people from Gilgit-Baltistan. And they occupied those heights there and they got killed. Their officers got killed, they got killed, they were thrown out from there. In fact, if you remember, a large number of them were buried by Indian army because Pakistan to hamare hai hi nahi. So you can imagine the state of affairs in Pakistan. It's a country which is jihadistan coupled with Jutistan, where only army matters and they control everything. So it doesn't really matter who you hit, unless you hit Pakistan army, its bases, its assets, and that is what India did in Operation Sindhu. What is even more significant is that we have announced that any terrorist attack on our soil will be considered an act of war. That is why it changes the complete dynamics of India-Pakistan confrontation. But why did this happen? When General Ziaul Haq came to power, that everybody knows now, so many years after he is dead and gone, he Islamized every single institution of Pakistan, including the Pakistan Army. Otherwise, till I would say till Yahya Khan, after that things started changing. Till Yahya Khan, it was still, it carried with the old traditions of, after all, India, Pakistan Army was same British Indian Army. So they got divided, but they had the same trend. They were not Islamized, radicalized, I would say, to that extent. But during Ziaul Haq's time, he ensured that one of the criteria to be involved in selecting officer corps is to see that he is of radical Islamic thought. And Asim Munir is part of, he got commissioned in 1986. The exact time when Ziaul Haq was at power. He is not the only one. There are many others
Yeah. Yeah.
who are now.
No, that's
And
really a helpful context, Teji, and setting this perspective in the historical and what has led to this. I think that is very, very relevant what you mentioned. But I'll just have a follow-up question there. So now you talked about various counterattacks that India did based on what happened in Pulwama or even before that. Do you think Operation Sindoor has set a new normal? I mean, the objectives that we accomplished as part of that. Can you share some perspective in terms of what were the objectives? Have we met them? There was a very widespread feel ki dil mange more. So do you do you think what India did was appropriate, controlled, and responsive, or we should have done more, or did we do more and which is not in the official realm?
surprisingly, the same question was asked from me yesterday on a television debate. And my personal opinion is this: first, it has set a new normal. There's no doubt about it. Because it is now our national policy that you hit us anywhere, any terrorist attack which has Pakistani imprint, we will hit Pakistani army. It's anywhere. Pakistan becomes our target. So it's a new normal in one. Second point is, I'm not been happy with the way, not only with the way the cessation of hostilities. We don't like to call it ceasefire for reasons I really don't know, because Operation Sindoor is still on, or maybe because many people, many patriotic Indians felt a little let down. The circumstance, what happened was, I can tell you, I was in a debate exactly at 10:50 on that 10th, and there was a briefing of the DGMO and the operational heads of Navy and Air Force. 10:50, if I recall correctly now. And we were carrying on with our work. They said, this is what we attacked, this is what we did, this is what we did, all that. There was no indication at all that we are going for cessation of hostility. At 3:15 or something, we had our brilliant External Affairs Secretary, Vikram Misri ji, coming, one of our own, a neighbor of ours in Kashmir. And he came and announced, and his body language, I wasn't too happy, but he only did a job that was asked him to carry on. Therefore, when it came, it created I can tell you something, that in India, 99% people were unhappy. Because I even now I feel, and then that time also felt, that firstly, it was not announced appropriately. Nation was not taken into confidence. No indications came, and I think we stopped it prematurely. Why it was done, I don't want to say it, because I don't have classified information with me. But and we had achieved tremendous success. I mean, after all, we destroyed 11 of their air bases. We hit exactly where we wanted to hit. And they suffered great damage. Even there, the prime minister is saying that we wanted a must. I wonder if you heard his statement other day in Iran. And he gave the statement in Iran कि हम फजर के टाइम के फजर नमाज के बाद हम हिट करना चाहते थे, लेकिन उनके ब्रह्मोस हमारे ऊपर आ गए. How can a prime minister make a statement like that we were intending to hit, but BrahMos came and prevented us from doing it, because they got destroyed. We have destroyed their AWACS, we have destroyed their Mirage, we have destroyed their radar stations. I don't want to say it, but The Americans send its radiation checking flight to Kirana Hill, sorry. And yesterday also there was one earthquake. Only the technically qualified people at the highest echelons will find out. Though Chief of the Defense Staff yesterday said that we were nowhere close to a nuclear conflagration. But if you remember, Strategic Plans Division of Pakistan had called a meeting, and that rang the bell in various capitals, and the what America said and what America did. But I would say that, and many Indians will agree with me, that we stopped short by at least one more day. We should have continued this one more day, and they were let off the hook. This was my assessment then, and this continues to be my assessment today.
No, it's certainly the sentiment is shared certainly, but at the end we need to trust the leadership, and I think they did what they had to do in the best judgment of theirs. So, but totally get your perspective, Teji, and many friends in the armed forces, I think they share the same sentiment. Switching gears slightly here, so let's look at the things that have unfolded from our community's lens. How do you envision resolution to some of the long-standing issues that our community has been dealing with? Whether it's about the return or rehabilitation, or whether it's about the justice that is still elusive. How do you sort of give your views on that aspect?
That's a very difficult question to answer.
If this event has set the stage for anything that will change for our community. So let me put it that way.
Uh, if you had asked me this question 10 years back, I would say that we will go back. But now, you see, we have a problem, and that is our dwindling population. That is, we have only every family has one or two children. In fact, the modern generation doesn't have any children also. So those who were wanting to go back, those who were sentimentally connected with Kashmir, a large number of them have left this world. There are large number of people who are committed to going back. But my assessment is, and I can tell you this from personal experience because I had the opportunity to lead two delegations to two different home ministers of this government, Shri Rajnath Singh ji and Shri Amit Shah ji. My view after meeting them was that, particularly the later one, was that whereas the government is going to move earth and heaven to integrate Kashmir with India, and they did show by abrogating Article 370 and 35A. And they did many other things in Kashmir, and they're all for good. But I did not find Kashmir Pandit being part of that anywhere in their thing. Therefore, the neglect that you see of our community at the government level, even now, is absolutely astounding. So, under the circumstances, the only thing we can do is do something ourselves. But our many drawbacks, strategic weaknesses, are coming in the way. Now there are people who are trying to go back, and all that thing is going on, but I am not very sure whether it will succeed in the manner, because every time you want to go back, every time situation improves in Kashmir, it's just matter of killing one or two people, and you're back to square one. At the same time, there is a fundamentally moral question. Should we leave our claim to go back to Kashmir? Under no circumstance. Therefore, why we should continue, whereas we should continue to harp on this point that we have to go back under all circumstances. We'll have to wait for any historical opportunity or change in government's attitude that will send us back there. I do not agree with this thing that अभी कौन जाएगा वहाँ क्या नौकरी मिलेगी and all that. I don't agree with that. I don't. In fact, I hate those people who say या वहाँ कुछ गच वापस तो क्या करो. I don't think we should not have this kind of an attitude at all. Even if it is an attitude, please keep it to yourself. Let's not discuss it openly because that creates a big problem for those who still want to go back. Let me tell you one thing, even among the Muslims of Kashmir, they don't get jobs there. A large number of their educated people are staying outside. They're in Pune, Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta, Gurgaon. You see anywhere, everywhere they are doing their job. But that doesn't mean they don't go back to Kashmir. In fact, in our time also, most of the people were working outside and we used to go back because the parents would live there and in winter they would come and stay with us, things like that. So under the circumstances, I think that we have to wait for an occasion. I would say that perhaps if Kashmiri Pandits had one platform, which is not possible because you know how divided we are. But at this, and it is not to say that Hurriyat is not there. Muslims are divided more than us, worse than us. But their population at least is so much that even one faction says something, it has a value. In our case, it is not so. We are so few, and with large number of young people having gone out to different parts of the world, even different. So I'm not sure whether. I really don't have an opinion today on this. Only thing I would say is that ultimately we have to go back, we must go back, and we must keep the dream alive. That's all I can say.
Absolutely, Teji, and it's not a straightforward answer. I think nobody has a sort of silver bullet to solve it. But to your point, I think we need to have the continued focus and not letting it go. I think we need to continue to strive for that. So thank you for that perspective, and thank you for being candid. I mean that's the hard fact. So switching gears here, so towards the concluding segment. So last question I will have you answer, Teji. Uh, community must asan say doctor to engineer, but sometimes we underappreciate how much we have contributed to the armed forces and what has been our contribution. So if you can conclude with some aspects highlighting our contributions to the armed forces and wrap up with any concluding thoughts, that would be great.
Nuparji, I'll tell you something. First of all, a small community like ours has produced one chief of the army staff and one chief of the air staff. And both of them were Mahavir Chakra winners, the second highest gallantry award. It's not a joke. We are such a small community. We have produced 3 army commanders, umpteen number of corps commanders, and not just that. We have produced so many young officers who are highly decorated. I wonder if you've heard the name of Major General Sunil Razdan. He is a living legend. He's a Kirti Chakra winner. He's still living, and you must read his. In 1994, if I'm not mistaken, he's from 7th Parachute Regiment. What an outstanding officer! What an outstanding performance he did when he eliminated the whole jihadi elite cell. He killed 9 terrorists, and that story, it's long story. Just to tell you that he killed his team, led by him, killed 9 jihadis because they were holding 35 or 31 Kashmiri Muslim women hostage. And he freed them all in the process. He got a bullet in his vertebrae. He's paralyzed, back downwards and cannot move. He's absolute. There are many like him. There is Sushil, Amma. There was my youngster in my own area, Akash Kazanchi. There are so many of them who have done a tremendous job as army people in the Air Force and Army, and have earned gallantry decorations of the highest order. So, for a small community to have contributed so much, I think we should be justly proud of them. I would also like to name, which most people are not aware of. My own brother, Captain S.K. Tiku, he is a founder member of Ikhwan with Kukapari, and they were responsible for completely finishing off Hizbul Mujahideen when it was at its prime in Kashmir. So there are many, many like him. It is unfortunate that in our country we don't, Kukuparelli, then they got killed and their cadre got totally dismantled because the political considerations. Unfortunately, India doesn't know how to take care of its assets. But what I'm trying to say is that Kashmiri Pandits have contributed immensely to the well-being of the national security, to its thought process. Even today, you have Vikram Misriji. I think he is absolutely brilliant. He is doing a tremendous job, and he was deputy to Ajit Doval in as national security advisor. Kashmiri Pandits, I think, is a. I have said that if ever a last patriot is living in India, that will be Kashmiri Pandit. This is my considered opinion. I would also, my concluding part is this. If you don't ask me that question, so I'll conclude. I want to say this, that India is living in a very dangerous neighborhood, and there is going to be a lot of turmoil in the coming months. I am convinced of this. What is happening in Bangladesh with Asim Munir having become a field marshal or having made himself a field marshal, with China not not having too good relationship, and we have seen what the West has done for us this time. I don't want to name it, but it has been this big disappointment. I think we are going to be in combat mode for at least another 2 years. So don't be surprised if our BrahMos is fired again, if our Mirages go and Rafales go, and it's one more match, because it has been left undone, and no wonder Operation Sindoor is still on. I would want that all patriots, I would appeal to all the patriots, please support the armed forces, please support your government, because it is very important. Because my considered opinion is this, that we have the world's largest fifth column in India, and they can go to any extent uh, to damage the country. So we are in a difficult phase, and hopefully we will come out with flying colors here also.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tejtikuji, for sharing your perspectives, thoughts, and accommodating late time zone for you back in India. Thank you so much. Feel free to stay here, Mara, or you can drop off. I know it's late for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Parji. Once again, my grateful thanks to you for having invited me on this platform. I'm truly grateful, and namaskar to all of you. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank
Mata
you.
Ragna Karna Uttai. Hamesh Surj to this welfare, your families, and all Kashmiri Pandit diaspora in America. Thank you very much.
Mara, blessings, stone Sirenians. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. We have a lot of agenda items to cover, so we'll try to just accelerate through. Amiji, can I take over the slide sharing?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, let's move on to the next segments. I mean, as Amiji was sharing about the agenda, we have IT updates, we have some cultural updates that we performed. There are a lot of program updates from Heritage, Youth, and other scholarship programs. There is camp updates, some community recognition. So we'll try to be respectful of everybody's time and just try to accelerate here through the rest of the sections. So first and foremost, I think, this was probably the most daunting task that we had in front of us, I would say, as we started on this journey of modernizing, transforming our IT platform. And just to give you some context, like where we were a few months back, and how and what approach we took, and we've got some IT team also here who would help. Please feel free to chime in here. So we have obviously evolved our IT platforms, which are extremely crucial for managing our programs, for managing our communication, for driving awareness about various scholarship programs or collecting membership fees. So it is very crucial and central to our operations. And if you see the first one, this was the old site, probably a decade old site, which obviously was extremely crucial for us to get started with our digital presence back then. I don't think we had a fully functional website when this was launched. So this was a great evolution for us in terms of building our platform. And few years back, we put together a program, a membership portal, which was managing our membership collections as well as donations. And we also built a program portal which largely geared towards our managing SAC, EAP, and medical. And then we also have a youth asset, that's a youth website, which is an independent website. Then for event registrations, we have been historically using jot forms and some other options. And a lot of times we have been struggling with our website from a payments perspective. So our community was also exposed directly to pay through PayPal. So, obviously the ecosystem evolved over the years. So we wanted to take a step back and see, hey, can we simplify the digital presence that we have and consolidate some of these things into a single platform? And there have been issues that our community has been reporting in terms of, especially about the payments not going through, or the experience on mobile not really friendly. And I think the other aspect is cost. And over time, some of these IT vendors who were supporting us, obviously cost became a consideration for us. Last year itself, we spent close to $20,000 to support and manage these. So the team really stepped back and said, I think we need to simplify this. And I would give a huge kudos to entire team, and I'll mention, who were some of the key players. And this is what we produced, and this is what we launched on Navre. That was March 28, 29, around that time frame. And this has really transformed our operations in the sense, the payments processing is extremely smooth. It's very mobile friendly. It has streamlined our membership management. Membership data has been a big challenge for us because of the way we were operating in disjointed systems. Now, there's just one platform where members can come, put in their information, renew their membership fees. The recurring payments, that was a long overdue sort of ask from our members. Hey, can we set up recurring donations? Or even for that matter, annual membership. Can we just set up once and just forget it rather than, every year we going and setting it up? So saving payment methods, saving your credit card. I mean, these are some very extremely important aspects to operationalize some of these things. Automated receipts, delivering receipts has been such a big operational nightmare for us, and we have managed it in a very manual way. It is not scalable, and it is not sort of, it is error prone as well. So new platform also automates our receipts as soon as you donate or renew a membership. Blogs has been a great addition, and Sid is here. I would love him to talk about a little bit about the new platform and why we chose what we chose. And but that has been again given us a voice in terms of in the recent events we produced so many vlogs, and because of the fact that we manage the platform, it made it so much more easier. And behind the scenes, what this has done, I mean, it has replaced disjointed system. Like we were managing multiple websites and portals operated by different IT vendors. So we've just insourced all of that with the volunteer team driving it. I think that is the biggest accomplishment, the biggest achievement, I would say, in this whole transformation has been, this has been 100% volunteer driven. And, the 20,000 plus dollars that we would have typically spent on third party vendors, it's all gone because, it's been led by us. And even from a, I mentioned some of the backend operations, how it has simplified work for us. There's this seamless integration with the accounting platforms. There is seamless integration with our banking system. So it has really provided a lot more visibility into our backend operations. Sid, do you want to add any comment? You want to chime in?
Sure. I just
Well, I was fighting with Sid, how should we go about it? And he really pressed me, no, this is the way you should go. And I really commend him for that. So, over to you.
sure. I'll keep it short because I know we're short on time here. But first, this is a conversation that's predating 2025. We wanted to make sure that whoever is in charge of KOA, that they have a easily accessed, user-friendly management system where any updates can be made. We had a team in India that was making updates for us on our old static site. And this has really transformed our ability to have an umbrella website for what should be viewed as an umbrella organization. In its true essence, KOA is, one of the oldest and preeminent Kashmiri organizations. And so we wanted to view the website that way and make sure that it's able to be managed easily. Obviously, Uparji mentioned the payment aspect, membership aspect, but we also want to make sure going forward that we view it as a portal for people to communicate, both being able to communicate as members and then for KOA as an organization to communicate back to the community. And the blog is a section that aims to do so, and we saw through Operation Sindoor. And prior to that, when the Pahalgam attack happened, there was a lot of activity happening in the community, and the website is a way to easily be able to quickly communicate with everybody. And so we're going to continue to do that. And the one last thing I'll add is that I highly encourage people to use the website now in the way we've traditionally used the Facebook page in the past, how people are using WhatsApp nowadays, which will continue, but we encourage you to go to the website, use the website. We understand there's some bugs still, but it'll be a work in progress. And I wanted to thank the entire team. This is truly a team effort, volunteer team effort, to make this happen and for it to continue to happen. One real quick thing I wanted to say is one person who wasn't mentioned in the Colonel Tikuji's conversation was the first Raw chief was a Kashmiri Pandit. Our spy master Kao, not related to me, but I thought he should be mentioned.
That.
And I just wanted to say, just closing out really quickly, just for the victims that have, died because of everything that's happened recently, Om Shanti. And for the troops, I wanted to say Jai Hind and Bharat Mata Ki Jai. And finally, that I think as a community, these are the times where we really need to be communicating with each other. The words that are shared are very important. And that's why I wanted to take part in this website effort. It's really a communication portal, and I want everyone to make sure that use it, comment on it. There's going to be a more full-fledged communication portal for people to use. And if there's going to be a lot of bugs you'll see, but if you have any feedback, please send it to us. You can send it via webmaster@koausa.org. And with that, I'll pass it back to Uparji.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm just flashing some screens from the website. So this is the blog section. If you've not seen, it's a lot of activity happening on this front, especially with the recent events. There's a couple of call to action that I really would love the community to rally around. And that's around, we recently launched a job forum. So, and given the state of, affairs these days, there are a lot of community members looking for jobs. So I would really appreciate if you can all go to the job board, subscribe. There is a way to subscribe, follow the category, and be actively engaging on this. If you are a hiring manager or of some positions open, please post it here. Or there are a lot of community members who are posting their profiles and their backgrounds, and many of them are in visa sensitive situations. So and some of them are young kids as well looking for internships. So I would really appreciate the community to rally around this forum and make it a thriving sort of asset for us to help find jobs. So that's one. The other thing that I wanted to sort of highlight is also about the membership. So please go and renew your membership that's on the side. And I want to touch upon here migrating existing members from the old site to the new site was definitely a daunting task, and huge kudos to Nimit. I don't know if he's there. I would have loved him to comment, but hopefully we have solved all of those. But if you see any issues with regards to your membership, please, there's a member chat feature here where you can just let us know if you have any issues, or you can send an email to member@koausa.org. Or for any content related, as Sid was saying, please send it to Webmaster. So with that, let me just take a moment to really commend the overall team. Obviously, you heard Sid and Nimit being there. Surbi played a great role in terms of getting some content out there. Ritu and Vishal, and I would let them talk, how they are also supporting, especially with some of the upcoming features. Ajay was crucial in helping us transfer the domains, and the best and the most, inspiring is our youngsters, Vivan and Mayank, our IT interns. They contributed immensely as well. So it's again, it's a team that does the magic, and kudos to all of you for doing what you did in a very short span of time. So I touched upon these two aspects. Upcoming launches. Vishalji, Rituji, can you talk a little bit about what we are doing and what's going to come up very shortly? You're on mute.
Coming online now. Hard for tech engineers to figure out how to deal with technology. Namaskar, everyone.
Namaskar.
To the KOA community, we are very thrilled and very honored to have an opportunity to contribute some of our skills and a little bit of our time, if we can, in helping Uphaji and the overall KOA community in building out a much more modern and a deserving KOA website. We deserve something better for all of us. Some of the programs that we are, obviously you've heard from the amazing work that Siddharth Kaurji and Nimit Kaurji have done in terms of, one, upgrading the website, two, providing so many of these cool modern communication features that we have been lacking. And Uphaji also commented on in a little bit, basically creating KOA as an umbrella for a lot of amazing content that's already out there in different, in different sites related to Kashmir and its culture and its history, and so much of that content that has been, put together in media, audio, video, and there's this amazing effort to put it under the overall KOA umbrella, and we are happy to participate and contribute to that. The bigger program, I think, what we are trying to simplify from a process point of view is the Save a Child and the assistance and medical assistance programs, because like you saw in the old site, they were only available to few people, hard to maintain, hard to get visibility on that program. So we will attempt to simplify it in a way that makes it easier for people to, one, apply, see what has been applied for, the folks that they are helping, sponsoring, and create a much more lively and connected experience for folks in that program, so they feel that connection, of Kashmir across the board. So.
Yeah, so I'd also like to add that so this is part of the whole modernization of the website that Uphaji was talking about, and there are other efforts as well. Like I know Siddharth is working on the migration of and consolidation of some of the older websites that we had, like for ikashmir.net and all that. So we'll see how to bring that content into the new website in a way that is modern and more consumable. I know all of us know that there is a lot of content in those old websites, very like invaluable content. But it does need to be vetted and brought out in a way that is more modern and that people can consume. So that's a big project. Other than that, obviously bringing up all the features that were there in the older website, like all these programs and things like that. So we need to bring that over to the new as well. The choice of Wix as a platform to develop the website was also a good one that Upaji and Siddharth and everyone had already made. So I think that's a good choice. We'd rather pay. It's one of the more expensive platforms out there, but I think we'd rather pay Wix than some other company to maintain some kind of a website or something. So I think that makes sense. It has a good mobile experience as well, which is where most of the people now, try to view the content from. So I think overall it's going in the right direction. And
And Upaji, thank you for this opportunity for letting us help a little bit along the
we
way.
are trying to contribute and help out where we can to build some of the features into the new website.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cool. So moving on, so some of the cultural initiatives and KOA calendar is top of the mind for all of us every Navre. So this year again, we continued with the tradition with a little bit of tweaks. This was contributed by the community in the sense in multiple ways. One was through the photographs. So we invited community to submit photographs taken by them. So all of the photographs that you see in this year's calendar were actually submitted by the community. And the other aspect was that we had a daunting task. How can we make this time zone based calendar? And this is the attempt that we had, that it's reflecting East Coast, West Coast, and the central and the mountain time zones. Obviously, there has been some feedback, hey, the tithis are not there, but just to let you know, it was extremely getting complex to fit the tithis of across the time zones as well. The other aspect was that it was all community sponsored. So historically, we had to sort of, figure out how to get the funding, but this time, the community members really came forward and this was fully sponsored. So you can see all of the sponsors here, and special mention to Shri Ratan Kosaji, who was the major sponsor as part of this year's calendar initiative. The other new initiative that we sort of launched this year was the time zone based Jantri, and we actually got printed copies of Jantri this year. We have been doing digital versions for last few years, but this time we really wanted to have the printed copy in circulation as well. We took pre-orders and we got a very great response, and we hope to continue the tradition. So we will maybe towards the end of the year or maybe early next year open up for pre-orders. So the call to action for all of us is please get the pre-orders in place well within the time so that we know how many we have to print, because we need to coordinate with our publishers back in India to get them the right quantity. So other activities that, obviously thanks to all the donors and community members who have been supporting us. There was a massive effort at Kumbh Mela led by Shri Ashwini Sadhuji. Tremendous work that he and his team did. And we got an opportunity to contribute on some way by sponsoring meals, and we were able to sponsor 500 plus meals. So thank you everybody who supported and contributed to this program. We co-sponsored the Samohik Yagnopavit. Again, huge kudos to Pintuji. He has been a community stalwart living in Jammu Jagati camp, and his organization Global Solace, who has been at the forefront of uplifting our community there. So KOA also sort of supported the effort, and as part of this Samohik Yagnopavit, 33 children, including 3 girls, Timanas I Mekaljan. So huge undertaking that he and his team has been doing year over year, and KOA got an opportunity to support this time. Upcoming events, obviously Chicago camp is on top of the mind for all of us. So if you have not registered, please register it right away because the deadline is tomorrow and we are almost at capacity. So if you're still thinking or just delaying, I would really highly encourage, please get your registrations in by the weekend, so that we can conclude the registration process, and there is a series of activities and stuff that the team is working on and they are going to prioritize for the rest of the month. This is a small promo video that the team has built, but I don't know if this is audible.
Uparji action audio chuneva.
Audio should So I think that's a learning for us, Amiji. We have to share audio when we're sharing slides. So we have shared this on the email as well. So please go and check it out. It's pretty nostalgic video with a lot of old pictures. I think virtual camp from some old camp. So looking forward to be making more memories. And this is snapshot of the agenda. I think the team has shared. It's going to be spread over 4 days. Day 2 and day 3 being the full days, and day 1, day 4 will be sort of partial days. These are some of the musicians which will be featured as part of the camp, and some great young artists and some very seasoned classical santoor player. If many of you may know him, Madanok and Vanshi and Bulbul, are young voices of community. So really looking forward to that. And there is an opportunity to sponsor at the camp. So an email was sent, I think, last weekend. So here is at a snapshot. So various options to sponsor, showcase your enterprise or your initiative as through the sponsorship. And we're also planning to do an art auction. So please showcase your skill, and all proceeds will go towards supporting KOA's cultural initiatives. With that, we'll switch to the program updates. So I would request Dilip ji to kick us off. I know we are probably running a bit late, so let's try to maximize the opportunity here. And I hope the community can stay for a bit more longer. So Dilip ji, over to you. Let's just accelerate.
Thank you very much, Uparji. So will you be able to help me with moving the slides?
Yes, I will go to this.
I will let you know that. But first of all, Uparji, what a great update about the website and all the hard work that has gone into it. It's really amazing to see. What meets the eye sometimes is not clear about what goes behind the scenes. Thank you for sharing all those details. And particularly today, Captain Tikusun sorry, Buzit. Again, it was a very moving moment. Ki kuta shunginas gasan kuta mushkil stat areas mas and kashir mas kuta mushkil. It's surrounded by these very dangerous kind of entities. Is lekin mara last year and if you please go to the next slide. So last year, Asmara Kodi KOA Heritage Program be resurrect. We came resurrect. We resurrected it because over the period of so many years, starting from 1990, because of what had happened to our community, our focus went to rehabilitation and resettlement of the community rather than preserving because we couldn't. We were unsettled, therefore we had to settle. But after this Article 370 abrogation and all of that, we're able to focus our skills because of the new hope that we will preserve our heritage. Although it's the whole KOA is supposed to do that, but we've found that we needed to have a focused energy on these efforts, and therefore we resurrected this whole program of preserving our Kashmiri Pandit heritage for the future generations. And we wanted to do it so that not only a few of us are focused on it, but it becomes a priority for the entire community, that we need to think about preserving it, not just living our life. Besides that, we owe it that we make efforts to preserve our heritage. So So our guiding pillars for preserving the heritage, there are 4 guiding pillars: language, literature, spirituality, and heritage sites. We chose these because we believe that some of these elements are core to the community. Language agar nahi aise, agar namara is kashri thao, as rosi na a collective identity rozna. Kashmiri Panditas agar language in nimo kashir identity kashmir rag. So literature, as far as literature, we have rich literature. But agar is tamuk karavna is preserve, survives, guys is khatmi. So wisdom mokli. Agar spirituality thawana is, our wisdom will be gone. So these are our pillars and also our heritage sites. So when I went to Kashmir in 2014 and 2022, where did I go? I went to all these, our heritage site, Tulmul, Zetia, Parbat, Ramchandran, all these sites where we used to go all the time. So these sites are in danger right now, and we need to protect them. Can you move to the next slide, please? So what have we been doing in this Q1 and Q2 of 2025? As kya kya kor? Language preservation khadr camera koras. KOA zone 5 and mara ispat kermit classes shuru language khadr. And also our own Vishal ji had taken some classes last year. He did some groups of classes throughout the year. But what we have done today, we have sort of integrated in zone 5 and core im Alathas. We sort of learned from there, and we've now created a conversational method of teaching Kashmiri, where we focus primarily on Kashmiri speaking, Kashir Bola Seri. It Shur Shuhechan Kashir Bola, the own method is teaching that kind of Kashmiri, how to speak instead of focusing on certain other elements of the language. So we have already done that. When Mauritius you follow Karani Kashir HO program, using a challenge, use session, using a challenge, that conversational method utilize Karan. And then so in our literary heritage, we had a great event yesterday. Thank you to everybody who made that successful, particularly Manoji and Rashmiji. I want to call their name out. We had a conversation with Dr. Sohan Lal Kohl, who has so much knowledge and how much literature he has written and how much he talked about the historical aspects of our literary heritage. It was great to know that. And then the discussion was very enlightening yesterday, and profound thoughts came out of that discussion. So Manoj is our leader for the literary heritage, and Vikram Khosa ji, co-leader of that. They're going to continue doing such events in the future also. The spiritual heritage, Vijay has led a lot of webinars talking about the Kashmir Shaivism one-on-one, the foundational concepts. But this year he has also embarked on deep dives on Tattva models and other things, because and his unique capability of relating it to the modern concerns of our society and how it can be related to these scientific methods also. Vijayji is an expert in that. So he's going to continue doing that, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Heritage sites, over these past 2 quarters, we selected 2 sites. Akmanachi Pokhribal Tibiakchi Cheshmi Sahibi, Robbawani and Cheshmi Sahibi. And Ashwini Kaulji and Pampoj Zuchiji have been researching a lot about these sites to make sure that we have all the details about these particular sites, so that we can share with the community as to what these sites are doing, what is the plan, and what's required for renovating those. Can you move to the next slide, please? So what are we going to do next in the remaining part of the 2025 for this heritage program? So our current Kashir HO session is going to end in end of July. So we will be introducing a new session for 4 months program. So what we identified is that we want to focus. We want to have a focused program so that people will come out speaking Kashmiri out of that program. So we're going to launch a 4 month program starting from August all the way through November, where there'll be weekly classes, all in a conversational method. And we're gonna open the registration for that very soon, so that people will have time to register for it and learn the language. For the literature, we kicked off the event yesterday with Dr. Sonlal Kaul. It was a 2-hour event and very, very interesting event. And we're going to have more such events in future with other figures who can enlighten us and inspire us to write and read about Kashmiri literature. Spiritual heritage, we're going to continue with the deep dives that Vijayji has been leading. Vijayji is also working with our youth members, KOA youth members, to break down some of those videos into smaller clips so that the concepts can be in bite sizes and easily digestible by the wider community. On the heritage sites, we're now in the place that where we're able to reach out to the community members and seek their help. We have all the details. Pampoji and Ashwiniji collected all the details. And now we're going to reach out to the community members to inform them how they will be able to help with those particular sites. So this is what we're going to do in 2025. So quickly in this slide, I want to introduce the team here. I think most of them should be known. This is me, Dilip Tikku. So I am the sort of the director of the program, but I also lead the language preservation. So I work on the Kashmir HO program. Manoj Kolji is our lead for the literacy heritage preservation. He's joined by Vikram Khosaji. He's the co-lead. Vikram Khosaji joined us in this year. I'm looking forward to his participation into this. Vijay Darji is our spiritual heritage lead. And for our sites preservation, we have Ashwini Kolji and Pamposh Zuchiji. But keep in mind that these are not the only people who are helping, but they're just leading these efforts. There are also many people who are helping with these initiatives. Rashmi Khosaji she introduces new programs and any strategy, for instance, for the newsletter, for other programs. She helps with all of that. She's our person behind and supporting each of the other programs and doing all kinds of things. She's also very capable in fundraising, has done that. She does that professionally. She also helped with that. Anjana Kolji, who doesn't know her, she's already the director of the KOA Zone 9. But besides that, her tremendous passion in heritage preservation, she does cultural awareness initiatives. She brings in these expert people who share information about various things. And she's also the outreach lead for our heritage committee. So trying to support all the other programs. So now I would like to talk about this Kashmir HO program quickly. The new session, which is going to be starting in August, it's from August 3rd to November 23rd, is going to be about 16 Sundays that the program will be offered to. And so please register for this. I'm asking the community that please register for it to help preserve this language. It's we hear yesterday also we heard from multiple people that it's not what do you call our language is in a very is at risk a lot. Okay, so moving faster. So Mata Rabbavani Tapostal complex. So Pampoji and Ashwiniji have put this thing together. It has all the details about this. I just wanted to flash it here. If anybody who wants to know about what is happening in the Mata Rabbavani temple, it's near that Cheshme Sahibi area, and so all the details are here, and you see here there. Then there's this the Then there is another one, the Pokhribal Temple Complex. So this is near the Parbat. They are making a guest house over there, and all the details are here about this particular project. It requires about 33 lakhs is the net investment needed. So also if you go to the previous slide, please, Upaj. For the Mata Rabbavani, there's about 84 lakh rupees, or about 100K US dollars are required for that. So moving to the last slide now. Last. After this, there's one more. Yeah. So what is our ask for the community? The ask for the community is one, that for Kashmir HO program, please register to that. It's a beginner level program. If you have kids who are not able to speak Kashmiri right now, and please make time for this, join this, and we'll do our best to teach them. And also we like the volunteers who can teach Kashmiri. We have created a training for new teachers. I will be able to train them to how to teach in this conversational method very easily. So please consider joining as a teacher. Then we have volunteer opportunities for the spiritual and literature preservation. For instance, we talked about breaking down these videos that we have already recorded into bite-sized clips. We need help in that area. So consider volunteering for that. Similarly, for doing the events in the literature preservation, we need help. If you are interested, please consider volunteering. For the heritage sites, we talked about the two sites in Kashmir, Pokhribal and Cheshme Sahibi. The donation drive has already started, and we need about 140,000 for these two sites, which we have picked for this year for helping with renovate. We're already working with the team over there for Pokhribal. There is this Samajik Vikas Sansthan that we have already worked with. Samajik Vikas Sansthan has done multiple projects there, including the Z-Tier project that they have done, where Z-Tier is used a lot. They're now working with us. They're working on this Pokhribal, and we want to assist them. So there is need for money in this particular renovation. Please consider donating to that. The donation, as you know, that the sites have become very easy with all this IT work. We can donate directly on the site or write a check to KOA with the comment on below. Okay, whether it's for Cheshme Sahibi or for Pokhribal.
Thank you, Dilip ji. Any closing remarks, because we are running out of time?
So I think no. If there are any questions, please reach out to any of the committee members who are the leads in that, and send us an email.
Fantastic effort, Dilip ji. You, the entire team. I think this is probably extremely hard, areas that you have picked on, and I think the team has done phenomenal job in accomplishing what they have done so far, and some exciting projects already on plan. So thank you so much to you and the entire team. Awesome. Thank you, Dilip ji. I know we are running short of time, so let's try to speed up. Siddhi, over to you.
Namaskar, everyone. I will have a very quick update. We just had our KOA Youth national trip last weekend. So last weekend was the biggest KOA Youth national trip in the KOA Youth history. We had 110 plus KP youth from across North America gathered in sunny San Diego. I'm actually currently wearing our swag. We had Varkar bucket hats, and our tagline this year was Sunny San Diego. So double meaning. We had Son can mean hours, and Son can also mean Goldie. So we kind of had that iteration in there. But these are some pictures that we have, all of our big group pictures, and I hope you guys can see at the bottom too. There's me, Arushi. We have our KP men who were present, who were really enjoying the sun in the park at that time, and just some more pictures. But we kicked off with a lively welcome dinner, which is the top picture on the left-hand side. It was a tropical, beachy vibe, so you'll see people wearing some floral wear. We picnicked under the trees at Balboa Park. That's the picture right under it. We spent the evening laughing and riding at Belmont Park. Don't have a picture of that there, but and then we also did give the attendees like half a day to just explore San Diego with their new friends. We cruised together around the beautiful South Harbor of San Diego, and then we did wrap it all up with a cozy Bon Voyage bonfire, which is the bottom right picture. But these youth trips are so successful because our young people do show up, they come to every youth trip, they stay engaged, and they leave feeling even more connected to the community. Many of them do go on and attend national KOA camps, and just I feel like this is a way that they stay involved lifelong. If you are a parent, please do send your kids to future KOA youth trips. The age limit does start at 18 years of age. They come back enriched, inspired, and more connected to who they are, and we can't wait to keep growing and making each year even more special. Uparji, if you go to the next slide. This year we did have sponsorships and donations for the youth trip attendees, and we requested in our feedback form for our attendees to basically just share something so you guys know that where your money is going towards and how much these attendees do feel appreciative of that. So I'll just give you guys like a second to read it. The right-hand side is like a really, I think it really did touch a nerve for me because it was such an emotional and like a well-written feedback that I'll share out loud. The KOA Youth Trip is something I look forward to each year from the minute the previous one comes to an end. Having grown up without the presence of a strong KP community, the youth trip provides a great opportunity to meet others from around the country and bond with others who share similar experiences, background, and culture. The trips have been a really great way to make friends and to gain a stronger connection with my KP heritage and to KOA as a whole. I really appreciate your continued support and generosity that provides the youth board with the ability to put on such a well-planned trip each year. After attending my first youth trip, I became more involved in KOA as a whole, and this has allowed me to feel so much more connected with my Kashmir background than I did before. It is exciting to see how this program has grown over the years, and I am looking forward to the future and what is yet to come. The next slide also has just a few other messages, thank you messages. This is incredible with how there's so much more that was there. I wish I could have added it all, but like it just we are really grateful for those who were sponsoring. Next slide, Uparji. We are still looking for sponsorships and donations just to KOA Youth as a whole. But since 2015, KOA Youth has become one of the largest leading KP youth orgs across North America. I would say across the globe. Building community through language programs like Kosher Cuts, powerful projects like the Hope Collective, Everything Kosher, and our annual youth trips. We have participants from Australia and India in the past. This is an entirely youth-led and self-funded program, so your support will really help us reach and bring in more youth. We have some sponsorship tiers here that you can donate to. You can scan the QR code. If you also go to the website, you can donate directly through the website. But donations are always welcome for KOA. This is like one of the only programs I would say that doesn't have like a recurring donation or sort of funding. It's all just through participation fees that we're able to gather and our merch that we sell at every camp. Next slide, please. And then finally, if you are a parent here who has a child from the ages of 18 to 30, make them register and become a KOA Youth member. They're going to be receiving exclusive discounts, priority registration, discounts for the youth trip, and priority registration for the youth trip, and a lot of extra bonus things that, other people who do join do not have. So like, for example, folks who registered this year had priority registration, and if they remember, they also got $25 off their registration fee. And priority registration also filled up our bucket within like, I think 2 or 3 days, we were already 50% full for our registration. So if you do go to KOAUSA.org, go to members, membership plan, scroll down, you'll see the regular youth ages 18 to 30 right there. And this is a little cute video from the youth trip, if it plays. But yes, we're all screaming Varkar over here. And yes, that sums up KOA youth.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Siddhi. And, I couldn't be more proud of what you all accomplished. Having a youth camp at this scale is amazing, amazing. So kudos and more power to you, Arushi, and the entire KOA youth team.
Thank you. Thank you. Arushi is not here, but we both have lost our voices this past week. We have not been able to speak, so I'm glad I was able to muster some voice and vocal cords up to talk here.
Sure, absolutely. Awesome. So I know we are over time, so I will try to sort of breeze through some of the content here, and let me take the liberty of running through some of these program slides as well. And program directors are here to support me. Please chime in wherever relevant. So this is a Sponsor a Child. It's a very well established known program supporting KG to 12 kids, mostly in the Jammu migrant camps and the surrounding areas. And last year we sponsored close to 434 students, and this year the goal is 500 students. So you would have seen an email from me kicking off for this current school year session. So really request everybody to continue supporting the program and even reach out to your network, reach out with your employers to employee matching program and support the program. I think one question that has come up is, hey, how do we go with the selection process? So we just pasted this selection committee criteria on the right. So whether somebody resides at the camp, somebody is a single parent, the household income, the merit. So all of these contribute to the score, and then based on the score and some additional reviews that the team back in India, which is largely the Sharka Foundation, our partners, as well as the program directors, and they'll conclude with some score and a recommendation that hey, whether we should proceed or not. Yeah, this is our partners who closely work with us in terms of enrolling and due diligence. And this is $325 per beneficiary. And as part of that, $25 does go towards the administrative fees, but the rest, $300 goes towards the child support. The Education Assistance Program, again, this is geared towards supporting kids after 12th grade. That's essentially the college assistance program. And last year we supported close to 223 beneficiaries. This year the team has set out a goal for 250 students. So again, we have not started the next session yet, but we just concluded the last session with some of the checks that were pending. We just have delivered them. So this is some of the statistics for including the last year. So yeah, the goal, as I was saying, 250. So please, again, continue supporting this program and also reach out in your network to get us to the goal of 250 kids. Family Sustenance Program, again, this has been a program which has been supporting families in situations where it's not really a medical situation. It's something that was, triggered by medical situation, and the family has lost a lot of their life savings and the other situations, basically qualifying them for this program. And we've been supporting for the last few years, ever since COVID. This was kicked off during COVID. We have supported 70 plus families, and close to 50K plus we have dispersed. So this year, as earlier, I think March, we kicked off a campaign to support. We've already collected, I would say, about 11,000, but obviously the need is more. So please continue to support this program. And if you need any follow-up information, because it's a relatively new program, I think some of you may have questions, so we are more than happy to provide you more details. Yeah, this is dispersed so far, and what we have raised 11K. Out of that, already we have dispersed 8.5K for 5 critical cases. But we see there's a constant inflow of cases like that. And Vinodji is not here, but yeah, we do have a goal to have a good pool of about 50K, so that we have a continuity in supporting these cases. And you can go to the website, and there's a dedicated program page for this, and you can donate through that. Medical program, Sujata ji is here. You want to quickly touch upon Save a Child initiative that we launched?
Sure. Yes. So yes, the KO Health Network, we review cases that are given to us by the KMACT in India, and we have very patients who need a lot of help, and we review cases, and usually we try to provide medical care for or medical funds for people that really need have a lot of financial hardship. And I think Vimarshji is also on, but this shows last year we had given almost $80,000 in funds on the graph, and that they show. And this year we're actually very short in funds, and there are some very needy individuals. There was one recently, a young woman with cancer who needed injections, and we were very short of funds. So Vimarshji, please, you want to say a minute per minute?
Thank you, Sujata-ji. Thank you, Paji. Yeah, so we can go to the next slide. What we are trying to do is, so like you can see from these graphs that like last year we donated more than $80,000 for our medical program to India. And we are doing this with in coordination with KMECT in India. This year we've already donated more than $15,000 as well. The biggest challenge is to generate more donations for this in the US. We can go to the next slide. And what we are trying to do is, and you can see that, most of the people who get this money is from the lower income group. Whenever somebody qualifies for this donation, it's usually about $4,000 or $5,000 from our side, from KOA side. And KMECT also does some matching in India as well. Next slide, please. And the challenges are mainly, the rising costs of treatment in India. Most of the money which is going for is for cancers which are there for treatment of cancers, and then a lot of transplants which patients have to go through as well. Next slide, please. And this is the Save a Life campaign which we did recently. And for a very young girl who has cancer, and we are pitching in for money for her cancer treatment. We've already raised more than $11,000. Big shout out to Mr. Mohan Vanchuji as well. He has pledged $10,000 for our medical fund. So thank you. And we do encourage others to donate money as well. We can go to the next slide. Our goal is to get at least $50,000 for this campaign.
And with Mohanji's matching, we are now 20,000 plus, right? So
yes, that's right.
Other than Mohanji's contribution so
yes,
far.
That's right.
And this money goes directly to these patients. There's no middle person. It's we keep very good track of it. And these are people who've tried all different other avenues. So they don't have any resources. So it's very important for us to support these needy people.
Yes. And the whole team vets these cases, and that is what the medical team does. And many a times we are even in touch with the oncologists in India and try to find out what the treatment plan is. So as much as we can, or you all can donate, there are different ways to donating. You can donate via a check, which can be made directly to Kashmiri Overseas Association, or you can go and donate online at the website link, KOA USA donation link, which is online. And we have a lot of tributes from India as well. So these are the ones which we shared last time as well. We have some video tributes from them and from the other girl which I showed you in the other picture as well. And we've shared that in the email. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sujata ji, Vimarshi. Amazing job that the medical team has been doing over the years, and it's really well appreciated back home. Even when I visited Jammu, I mean, there was so much appreciation about what the KMECT especially and our medical team has been supporting these emergency cases. So quickly wrapping up, I know you all have been patiently waiting because we stretched over time. So Dr. Nirmal Mattu, who doesn't know him? So he was recently awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award by AIA. That's the Association of Indo-Americans, a very well-renowned association, I think last 50 years or so. So he was honored for his contributions to the society in general, as well as to the medicine. So thank you so much, Nirmalji, for being the stalwart of our community, and he has been a great champion and support for us at KOA as well. On business leadership, Abhidhar, he was recently awarded with the Orbi CIO. It's an award forum for CIOs, and he's been a CIO at TransUnion in the past, and in the recent he won in the leadership category. So kudos to Abhidhar ji for winning this Orbi Leadership Award. With that, that's a wrap. So thank you so much. I know Sunday morning there are a lot of other commitments that goes on. So thank you for taking time to be with us here, and we will share the presentation as well as the recording over email and other social channels. So if anybody has not been here, so they should be able to view the contents offline later. With that, if there are any questions, I'll just open the forum. We can, I can stop the recording here as well.